In old science fiction movies, alien life was often depicted as humanoid in appearance. They may have had funny ears or a weird tentacle down their shorts, but for the most part they resembled ordinary men and women. Even now, all it takes to make a convincing extraterrestrial is to paint Zoe Saldana a different color and bam, you've got yourself an alien. But might these sci-fi aliens be more realistic than we think? Are extraterrestrials likely to be humanoid? Could humans be living on other planets? At number 4, actual humans. One of the ways life might spread through the universe is through Panspermia, which, despite its name, has nothing to do with cooking the world's most disgusting breakfast. Panspermia describes how life disperses itself across the cosmos like spores in the wind, traveling from planet to planet and star to star via comets, asteroids, meteoroids, and even alien spacecraft. And if this last method was used to spread Homo sapiens to other worlds, then it's possible that modern humans exist on other planets. For these humans to be identical to us, they would have had to have been taken around the last 300,000 years, when our species Homo sapiens first emerged. If said Homo sapiens were transported to a world that was relatively similar to ours, then they may have developed at roughly the same pace as us. If we go back further and imagine that an earlier species of Homo was taken, then the chances of them resembling modern man start to dwindle. Homo antecessor is an ancient ancestor of modern humans, and this guy existed 1.2 million years ago. With 1.2 million years of divergent evolution on a world other than Earth, humans would have developed even more differently. Who knows? Maybe Neanderthals or Denisovans became the dominant species. But what if life was taken even earlier than that? Number 3. Human-ish. If an alien race were to go back many more millions of years and take one of our super early ancestors to another world, would these life forms eventually develop into humanoid creatures? Possibly. But the precise nature of species development depends on its environment. If an advanced race had transported some of the very first mammals from 80 million years ago, such as the Uraconta, a tree-dwelling, insect-eating class of mammals whose ancestors became tree shrews, colugos, and primates, then it's by no means certain they would develop into humans given the same time frame. On their new planet, which we'll call Berry, they would face different challenges and adapt in new and interesting ways. But what if the environment on planet Berry means primates never come to exist and instead it's colugos that may have become the dominant strand? Their successors might look human-like since they have 4 limbs, but with those cool arm flaps enabling them to glide through the air, would they ever need to develop the ability to walk upright? Maybe we would, but we'd still look vastly different to modern Homo sapiens. It's feasible that a dominant, upright walking being could have developed from any of the species on our world, given a long enough timeline, and this even goes for the very first organisms born on planet Earth. At number 2, DNA Dynasty. Let's take aliens out of the equation and imagine what would happen if panspermia occurred naturally without any help. For life to travel across the universe, it would have to be small and hardy enough to hitch a ride on an icy block of rock hurtling through space. So, for anyone picturing weasels clinging onto a comet spreading their cunning ways through the cosmos, I love you. But that's not how it would work. It's more likely that simple life forms would survive the trip, with the best candidates on early Earth having existed 500 million to 4 billion years ago. Perhaps a rock full of Earth's most primitive life forms was ejected into space by an asteroid strike, and this rock traveled and eventually smashed into another planet. This is entirely plausible, but the time it would take the rock to reach an Earth-like world means it's almost impossible for humanoid life to have developed as a result. A more realistic scenario involves Earth's primitive life forms and planet Berry's primitive life forms both originating from the same location, with rocks containing single-celled organisms with the same DNA landing on two worlds at the same time. Or, according to Thomas Gold's cosmic garbage theory, life on Earth and Berry originated accidentally after ancient aliens threw their trash into space. I truly hope we humans are nothing more than angry trash monsters. It'd explain a lot. In this instance, the organisms on both planets might develop to form creatures which vaguely resemble each other. And this might be apparently true even if we didn't share the same DNA. Paleontologist Professor Simon Conway Morris argues that the most intelligent life has to be humanoid to some degree. And he cites the example of the eye having evolved independently on Earth on 50 separate occasions as evidence of how all life finds the same solutions to common universal problems. He also argues that proteins, limbs, intelligence, and tool-making should emerge in sufficiently advanced life forms, and that if this set of traits is replicated across the universe, then some extraterrestrial life forms should be humanoid in nature. But as for actual Homo sapiens living on another planet, that seems unlikely. Unless, of course, the universe is not as it seems. And at number 1, faraway humans. Just think of all the random occurrences which led to the formation of the DNA sequence required for Homo sapiens to exist. Certain species had to thrive, others had to die, and random Earth-specific events had to take place in order for us to gain our status as Earth's head honchos. On planet Berry, perhaps the dinosaurs endured and retained their place as the most dominant creatures. Or maybe wasps took over and planet Berry is now the worst place to picnic in the universe. This makes it statistically unlikely that Homo sapiens or even the Homo genus exists anywhere else in the universe, if it exists as we presently understand. However, if the universe is infinitely large in some way, it is a near certainty that humans exist on other planets, because those other planets are merely different versions of Earth, which exist infinitely far away or in a parallel universe. Another way humans might live on another planet is if our reality is an illusion. If the universe as we know it is a simulated construct, humans could easily exist on other worlds within our simulation. Alternatively, they may exist outside the simulation as masters of our reality, with advanced human beings having already conquered the universe and spread our filthy influence far and wide. These are all pretty wild theories, of course, and as far as we know, humans don't exist outside of planet Earth. But when will this change? We're going to discuss this in our bonus video, Will Humans Conquer the Universe?, which you can watch on our Patreon page at patreon.com/Strange Mysteries. For a $2 a month pledge, which you can cancel at any time, you'll get to watch this, and indeed all of our bonus content which goes deeper and darker into every topic than YouTube allows. If you don't want to donate, then it's cool, we still love you. And we'll continue to provide the best content we can under YouTube's restrictions. As you'll find out by watching our recent video which explores potential evidence that humans are part alien,